Welcome back to 21st Century Dating Decoded, the official Speed Mingle Podcast. I am your host, Don, and I am prepared to conduct a comprehensive reassessment of prevailing assumptions concerning modern romantic engagements. For an extended period, the dominant narrative has been characterized by notable pessimism. We have frequently encountered assertions that chivalry is obsolete, that digital applications have compromised efficacy, or that the sheer proliferation of digital choices has engendered a profound state of decision paralysis. However, what if the most significant and consequential transformation in contemporary romance is not attributable to a technological artifact, an algorithmic structure, or a statistical anomaly? What if the most potent determinant influencing one's romantic trajectory is the individual positioned in proximity at a preferred social venue or dining establishment? Today we shall undertake a thorough exploration of a profound sociological phenomenon that is fundamentally revising the protocols governing initial meetings, the evaluation of prospective partners, and the ultimate development of affection. We term this phenomenon friendfluence. This represents a critical inflection point. In an era saturated with boundless, often cursory, digital selections and palpable fatigue associated with dating applications, our established, credible social networks, our acquaintances, our professional associates, our communities, have subtly evolved into the ultimate, indispensable arbiters of our romantic lives. The epoch of arbitrary digital selection is yielding to the paradigm of the trusted introduction. From the increasing prevalence of the organic friend-to-lover progression to the sophisticated, deliberate methodology of group date vetting, one's platonic affiliations are no longer merely a support structure. They are now, unequivocally, one's most influential and strategic romantic assets. In this pivotal installment, we shall meticulously analyze the core mechanisms of this emerging dating ecosystem: the social endorsement proxy, the superiority of affiliative validation over algorithmic matching. We will examine the undeniable reality that an affirmative sanction from one's closest confidant, trusted colleague, or cohesive social group is now intrinsically more valuable and predictive of relational success than a simple digital match notification. We will analyze why third-party validation provides a level of assurance, authenticity, and pre-vetted compatibility that no profile description can ever replicate. The gradual courtship evolution, the substitution of the abrupt initial encounter with communal integration. We are tracing the definitive shift away from the jarring, high-pressure, abrupt initial encounter, that awkward meeting with a complete stranger. We will demonstrate how the cultivation of a robust, interconnected social community is supplanting this model, facilitating the natural germination of relationships within shared contexts and activities, thereby mitigating anxiety and establishing foundational trust prior to the necessity of the first romantic reservation. The reconceptualization of the friend zone. Why platonic foundations constitute a high-value strategy. Disregard preceding notions concerning the conventional friend zone. We posit that establishing a preliminary platonic relationship, devoting the requisite time to genuinely ascertain an individual's character, disposition, and intrinsic values prior to the imposition of romantic expectation, is not a state of suspended animation, but is, in fact, the new, high-value, high-reward strategy for forging durable, enduring partnerships. Whether you are actively seeking companionship, experiencing exhaustion with digital platforms, or merely endeavoring to comprehend why your most dependable confidant has suddenly been transmuted into your most effective, intuitive matchmaker, we encourage your sustained engagement. The established norms have been revised, and we are here to furnish the definitive guide. Let us not merely deplore the contemporary state of courtship. Let us comprehensively analyze and assume a leadership role in the new, influential era of friendfluence. So let's get into the heart of it. Why is the traditional dating app losing its grip? We're seeing this massive strategic pivot toward what I call friendfluence. It's the idea that community vetting is replacing the cold outreach of a, quote, match. Today we're breaking down the mechanics of this shift, looking at why the group chat has become the ultimate gatekeeper of modern courtship, and what that means for the future of how we find the one. The pervasive exhaustion associated with the repetitive cycle of digital courtship, characterized by continuous swiping, instances of ghosting, and the often obfuscating mandates of algorithmic matchmaking, is a widely recognized cultural phenomenon. A notable sociological and relational transformation is currently underway, with unattached individuals increasingly adopting a growing trend designated as friendfluence. This movement posits that the digital group chat, historically a relaxed medium for informal communication, logistical coordination, and social planning, has now ascended to become the most efficient and contemporary mechanism for relationship initiation. This profound shift in modern mating behavior substantively confirms a straightforward principle. The most dependable route to authentic, enduring commitment frequently originates with the validated endorsement of trusted acquaintances, superseding the impersonal mediation of an algorithm. Delegation of vetting. The operational mechanics of friendfluence and the pursuit of authenticity The fundamental utility of Friendfluence resides in the judicious delegation of the initial, most resource-intensive screening phase of one's romantic life to those individuals who possess the deepest understanding of one's personality, genuinely comprehend one's emotional prerequisites, and maintain a vested interest in one's long-term well-being. Instead of navigating a substantial volume of unverified individuals, prospective partners are increasingly relying upon their core social networks, ranging from a select group of intimate confidants to an expansive, highly interconnected network to execute essential functions. Evaluation of prospective matches. They serve as impartial, informed liaisons, scrutinizing digital profiles, verifying professional credentials as deemed pertinent, and conducting background assessments that automated algorithms are fundamentally unable to replicate. Discernment of profiles. Friends are tasked with identifying and discarding misrepresentative self-descriptions, embellished biographical narratives, and perfunctory profiles endemic to conventional dating platforms. Facilitation of initial contact. They orchestrate the first, low-pressure point of engagement, situating the potential match within a pre-existing framework of social confidence and established credibility. This tendency transcends merely informal referrals. It is progressively becoming formalized and digitized. Dating applications such as Wingman, which explicitly authorize friends to collectively construct a user's profile and select preliminary dates, are experiencing a surge in adoption. Singles are motivated by a profound imperative to infuse genuine discernment, rigorous veracity, and essential accountability into the often superficial, performative, and low-stakes environment of digital romance. The objective is to decisively circumvent the misleading self-promotion and emotional depletion that have become inextricably linked with the current relational paradigm. Maya, a 28-year-old marketing professional who successfully entered a committed relationship following her friend's stringent pre-screening of prospective partners, articulates the rationale. My friends are more cognizant of my non-negotiable standards than I am. They can identify a detrimental indicator instantly, prior to my internal justification. They function as my personal dating defense system, eliminating extraneous distractions and persistent time-wasting individuals. This approach is predicated on efficiency and emotional self-preservation. The essential vibe check. Group consensus as the ultimate standard of acceptance. In this evolving relational domain, the vibe check is established as the critical, mandatory standard for proceeding. This collective evaluation transcends a mere cursory initial assessment. It represents an immediate, authoritative, and group-sanctioned verdict. If a prospective partner's comprehensive digital presence, encompassing initial correspondence, chosen photographic representations, and public social media activity, elicits a collective expression of skepticism, e.g., a side-eye or skull emoji verdict, or even a collective silence indicative of disapproval from the social cohort, the association is typically terminated without delay. This prompt, uncompromising, and unified group determination is a direct, concerted response to the extensive expenditure of emotional resources on mismatched individuals, those seeking low-commitment engagements, and unproductive situationships. For busy professionals who prioritize the preservation of their time and psychological well-being, this level of efficacy and finality represents a considerable, compelling advantage. Dr. Chang, a sociologist specializing in the analysis of contemporary relationships and digital courtship, provides pertinent context. There is an evident and significant divergence from the attempt to performatively impress an unfamiliar individual toward the integration of a partner into one's pre-existing social ecology, specifically, someone whom one's inner circle will genuinely appreciate and with whom they will integrate seamlessly. Friendfluence fundamentally prioritizes social congruence, alignment of values, and authentic, multifaceted engagement over transient, superficial attraction. It is, in essence, a potent reversion to a communal, socially driven model of courtship, ingeniously enhanced by a modern, digital overlay and the analytical efficiency characteristic of a professional focus group. Beyond individual autonomy, the argument for expediency and emotional resource conservation. While a critic might voice reservations regarding the perceived forfeiture of individual discretion in a domain as pivotal as romantic selection, proponents of Friendfluence assert the contrary. By deliberately harnessing the collective experience, critical emotional insights, and profound emotional investment of their acquaintances, participants in this trend secure several significant benefits. Substantial emotional resource conservation. By ensuring the elimination of the least compatible candidates, the individual is spared the psychological and emotional burden of repetitive, unsuccessful initial encounters. Mitigation of common difficulties. Friends function as an objective safeguard against prevalent issues such as non-committal, texting-only partners, and emotionally manipulative individuals. Elevated probability of success. The relationships that are pursued are pre-vetted, exhibiting a significantly higher, statistically probable likelihood of shared foundational values, social endorsement, and long-term viability. This escalating trend constitutes a powerful, irrefutable affirmation of the enduring, irreplaceable influence of friendship in navigating the most intricate and emotionally demanding life endeavors. It represents a mature acknowledgement that the most effective, objective assessors of one's romantic requirements are frequently the individuals who have shared one's personal history, possess an intimate comprehension of one's current identity, and are aligned with one's future objectives and aspirations. Therefore, the next instance one experiences indecision and apprehension when confronting a critical dating application choice, the prudent course of action is to suspend the digital interaction and first consult one's most trusted cohort. The future of relational initiation does not rely upon the emergence of a novel, revolutionary algorithm. It resides with one's friends, who collectively hold the pre-approved access to one's subsequent significant partnership. This concludes the current installment of 21st Century Dating Decoded, the podcast dedicated to furnishing you with the strategic clarity required to navigate the complexities of contemporary romantic engagement. Before your departure, permit us to reiterate the principal insight derived from today's extensive examination of the revolutionary concept termed Friendfluence. Your immediate social architecture is, unequivocally, your most substantial dating asset, transcending its conventional role as a passive support structure. This fundamental reframing of perspective is critically important. We must acknowledge the collective exhaustion engendered by profound swipe-right fatigue and the diminishing returns of protracted, superficial digital correspondence. It is time to recognize that the most effective, sophisticated algorithmic system available is perhaps not operated by a technology corporation, but by the individuals who are already intimately familiar with your optimal qualities, your engaging particularities, and your genuine relational objectives. We strongly encourage you to strategically leverage the discernment and established network of your acquaintances. Should you have derived significant value from this intensive exploration of intentional dating practices, we urge you not to remain a passive spectator. Kindly select the subscribe function immediately. Furnish us with an honest, 5-star review to facilitate the discovery of this program by a wider audience. And, most importantly, distribute this episode to that specific acquaintance who remains aimlessly traversing the convoluted pathways of dating applications without a defined, implementable strategy. Now, we talk a lot on this show about shifting strategies, and that's exactly why I'm so excited about our sponsor and host, Speed Mingle. They aren't just a partner. They are the platform actually putting intentional connection into practice. Let's take a quick minute to talk about how they're cutting through the fluff of modern dating. Speed Mingle operates as more than a conventional dating service. It represents the new, intentional, and strategically designed methodology intended to fundamentally reinvigorate your social and relational existence. We are not merely participants within the modern dating milieu. We are strategically positioned to offer the efficient frontier for this emerging era. Our integrated platform and meticulously curated events are designed to aggressively mitigate the inherent risk associated with aimless swiping and maximize the opportunities for authentic, substantive connections, thereby propelling you deliberately toward meaningful, enduring relationships. Speed Mingle is actively transforming the landscape of both digital and in-person courtship by providing a diversified portfolio comprising 4 distinct, highly intentional, and efficient modalities for connection. Speed Mingle Anywhere. Our proprietary virtual offering facilitates authentic, face-to-face video interactions from the security and privacy of your preferred location. This modality is specifically engineered to overcome the intrinsic limitations and potential for deception inherent in anonymous, photograph-based swiping, ensuring direct engagement with the actual individual. Speed Mingle Social. These consist of relaxed, non-hosted weekly assemblies conducted at established, reputable local establishments, designed to foster spontaneous, low-pressure, informal connections. This serves as the optimal environment to identify individuals within your geographic area while enjoying a casual, real-world social atmosphere. Speed Mingle Happenings, our signature offering, meticulously curated, dynamic, activity-based events. These experiences are structured to cultivate natural engagement and organic chemistry without reliance upon conventional, often awkward small talk. The focus is placed on shared experience, not mandatory conversation. Speed Mingle 1-to-1, scheduled for launch in spring 2026. This represents our most personalized service. It involves personalized, low-pressure, and highly selective meetings with pre-vetted local single individuals, ensuring an efficient, data-driven trajectory toward foundational compatibility and shared relational values. Our steadfast commitment is to offer diverse asset classes for connection, analogous to a sophisticated investment portfolio, thereby precluding the concentration of all your emotional and temporal investments into a singular, frequently unsuccessful dating strategy. Whether your preference is the streamlined efficiency of our online video platform, the curated structure of a live event, a personalized one-to-one meeting, or a spontaneous social assembly, Speed Mingle provides a tailored, strategic methodology for every dating preference and risk tolerance. We remind you that a successful relational portfolio is invariably constructed upon the dual foundations of intentionality and genuine, authentic connection. Engage, formalize your participation, and subscribe. Are you prepared to formalize your participation in the intentional dating movement? Follow and subscribe immediately to ensure you do not overlook any future segments or critical dating strategies. Access via You're the Podcast on your favorite platforms. Locate us conveniently on all principal podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart Radio, and Deezer. View on the new Speed Mingle TV Network. Access our video content and complete episodes on YouTube, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV. Simply utilize the search function for Speed Mingle TV Network within the Apps and Games interface, and the HRB TV Network, our parent company's dedicated premium channel. If you valued this episode and found our discourse on abandoning obsolete, prescribed dating narratives and embracing Friendfluence to be both informative and motivating, we request that you undertake these 3 simple, immediate actions. Hit the subscription button immediately. This is the sole mechanism to guarantee you remain current. Provide a 5-star review. Your endorsement is pivotal in assisting other individuals who are seeking genuine dating counsel to discover our program. Share this with an acquaintance who continues to utilize an outdated, poorly illuminated headshot featuring an expired digital filter. Forward the link. Their future romantic prospects will express gratitude for the intervention. Finally, we urge you to take the concrete next step. Secure your reservation for an upcoming Speed Mingle event, or register for your inaugural virtual session in your locale. Exercise initiative and strategically mix, match, and mingle to enhance your social and relational portfolio. We express our gratitude for your viewership of 21st Century Dating Decoded. Until our subsequent episode, we advise you to remain deliberate in your choices, uphold your emotional protection, and consistently engage in dating with a well-defined purpose. Maintain connection and join the revolution. Follow us on social media at The Speed Mingle for daily dating insights, strategic advice, and a view behind the scenes into the dynamic interactions and successes of our dating community. Join the community. Navigate to our official website immediately to register for your first virtual Speed Mingle event, or join us at a live Speed Mingle event within your area. It is plausible that your next Friendfluence success narrative, catalyzed by a friend's recommendation, could commence there. I am Don, your host, and I offer this final reminder. Maintain an open heart, ensure your boundaries are firm, and keep your group chat updated regarding your progress. Thank you for listening to 21st Century Dating Decoded, the official Speed Mingle podcast.
Thank you for listening and watching on the new
Speed Mingle TV Network.